At 5 o'clock in the morning, a small wooden boat vanished into the dark waters of the Caribbean Sea. It had no lights, no flags, and no identification. Inside that fragile vessel was one of the most hunted political figures in Venezuela. If she were recognized, there would be no rescue, no negotiation, no return. This is the incredible, untold story of how María Corina Machado escaped a regime that was determined to erase her from existence. The night felt unnaturally still. Across Venezuela, the streets were quiet, but this silence wasn't peace. It was the heavy silence of fear. Inside a modest room, far from the public eye, María Corina stood in front of a mirror, slowly adjusting a wig. The woman staring back at her didn't look like the charismatic leader that millions of Venezuelans recognized. This wasn't a disguise for a political rally. It was a disguise for sheer survival. For nearly a year, she had been living in hiding. She was constantly on the move, changing houses, changing routines, and even changing names. She never stayed in one place long enough to be found because she knew the government wasn't just watching her. It was actively hunting her. Every phone call carried a risk. Every unexpected knock at the door could be the last. Friends became liabilities, and familiar, once safe places turned into potential traps. She had to learn to live without patterns, because patterns are what get people caught. But living like a ghost takes a heavy toll. It's not just a physical exhaustion, it's a profound mental and emotional drain. Imagine living every single day with the chilling knowledge that capture would unmean a trial or a prison sentence. It would mean disappearance, a complete erasure. Faced with this grim reality, she made a momentous decision. She would stop running. She would escape. Late one night, under the cover of darkness, María Corina stepped into a completely unremarkable car. There was no security detail, no armored protection, just the deafening silence inside the vehicle. The plan was terrifyingly simple. It involved a 10-hour drive straight across the heart of Venezuela, a journey that would take them through 10 separate military checkpoints. Each one was controlled by forces fiercely loyal to the regime. One wrong glance from a soldier, one suspicious question, and the entire plan, her entire life, would end right there on the side of the road. At the first checkpoint, soldiers with stern faces peered through the car windows. The car rolled forward, hearts pounding. They were waved through. Relief was immediate but short-lived. At the second checkpoint, the pause was longer, the silence inside the car heavier. Then, another signal to pass. Checkpoint after checkpoint, the tension inside the vehicle became almost unbearable. No one spoke. No one dared to move unnecessarily. By the time they approached the 10th and final checkpoint, every breath felt borrowed, every second stretched into an eternity. When they finally reached the coast, the sun still hadn't risen. The air was thick with the smell of salt and a palpable sense of danger. Hidden in the deep shadows of a small, sleeping fishing village, a boat was waiting. This wasn't a modern ship or even a speedboat. It was a simple wooden skiff's mole, exposed and utterly vulnerable. It wasn't built for political intrigue. It was built for survival. At exactly 5 in the morning, María Corina and her 2 companions stepped aboard. The engine started with a quiet hum, and the little boat slipped away from the shore, swallowed by the vast, dark sea. The journey ahead was just as perilous as the one they had just completed. The crossing to the island of Curaçao is notoriously unforgiving. That particular stretch of water has destroyed countless boats and taken many lives. It's known for erasing mistakes without a trace. But this journey carried a different, more modern kind of danger: military misidentification. In those tense waters, small, unmarked boats are often mistaken for threat smugglers, or worse. That's why, while they were already at sea, fighting the waves, her team made an urgent and truly extraordinary request to the United States military. The message was simple: do not strike this boat. They were betting her life on that message being heard and heeded. As the hours passed, the ocean turned violent. Massive waves slammed against the wooden hull, threatening to splinter it apart. The wind howled, cutting into their faces like razors. There was no turning back now. The only way was forward, through the darkness and the crushing uncertainty. The small boat pressed on, a tiny speck against the immense power of the sea. Then, slowly, a shape began to appear on the horizon. It was faint at first, but it was there. The outline of Curaçao. No one celebrated. No one even spoke. After so many months living in constant fear, hope itself felt dangerous, like a trap. But as the island grew clearer, as the details of the coastline came into focus, a new reality began to settle in. They had made it. After a year of hiding in the shadows, after a terrifying night navigating a gauntlet of checkpoints, after a treacherous sea crossing that could have ended everything, María Corina Machado stepped onto free land. Her freedom didn't arrive with a cheering crowd or flashy headlines. It arrived quietly, with a simple feeling of solid ground beneath her feet. But in that quiet, profound moment, one truth became crystal clear. Survival isn't always about endurance. Sometimes it's about courage. Sometimes it's about knowing when to stop hiding and start defying the impossible. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as powerful as we did, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories you won't hear anywhere else.